Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about rule sharking with North America Regional Championships coming up here this weekend. I think now is a good time to talk about it and to just kind of cover what it goes over. But first of all, I want to say thank you. I realized today that I did not put out a video when I hit 100 subscribers. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed to me. I'm now at 113 subscribers and that is just massive for me and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me that you guys take the time to hit that subscribe button and that notification button. If you haven't done that, go ahead and do that right now. But let's get right into this video. So rule sharking, what is it? Well, it is a person that is looking for any excuse to hammer you with the rules. Now, following the rules is a great thing. You should always follow the rules. Do your best to follow the rules. But sometimes there's corners that you can cut just to make gameplay a little bit faster, make it a little bit easier. But let's start off. I've kind of got it listed out here. Let's start off with the first things, with what I've got listed so that I can keep track. Number one is rule sharks. The things they like to do is they like to reflip everything. Say you flip a coin and they're like, oh, it landed on heads, but it's kind of tilted up just a little bit on, say, the side of the deck, or maybe a GX counter or something. We need to reflip that. That is an improper flip because it's supposed to land flat. That is rule sharking. There's no reason to reflip that. If they do that and they want to do that, they can call a judge, let a judge decide on whether or not that needs to be reflipped. But that is just, in my opinion, that is rule sharking and them trying to get advantage over you because I guarantee you they will not want to recall that flip unless it landed on something they didn't like. Next up, they will demand that everything you do pre-game and in-game is by the rules 100%. So let's say you're playing Ultra Balls. You've got to play an Ultra Ball and then you've got to discard 2 cards from your hand. Well, instead of playing the Ultra Ball, following the Ultra Ball rules, discarding your 2 cards, searching your deck for a Pokemon, putting it into your hand, and then shuffling your deck all over again, you say, no, wait, I'm going to go back in. I'm also going to play a Mysterious Treasure, discarding 1 card, searching your deck for Dragon or Psychic type Pokemon. A rule shark will say, no, you have to shuffle that deck before you can search with Mysterious Treasure. You have to shuffle all over again, hand it to me, I've got to cut it, and then you can put it back, and then you can play Mysterious Treasure, starting the process all over again. That is a rule shark. They will do that every time just to draw the game out, especially if it's an unfavorable matchup, because in the best of 3, if they can tie you, it's better than a loss. So that is kind of something to look out for. If they make you shuffle after every time you look in your deck over something like a simple Ultra Ball when you're going to go back in for a Nest Ball or a Mysterious Treasure just right after that. Something else they like to do is takebacks. They like to, say you're playing an Ultra Ball, right? You lay down an Ultra Ball and you're like, I'm going to discard an energy and I'm just going to discard this Pokemon. Well, before you look in your deck, you're like, wait, I've already laid these cards down. I don't want to discard that energy. Can I take that back? A rule shark every time will say no. You cannot take you back. You laid it down. That is your fault. You shouldn't have done it. You should have looked at your hand. At that point, you just have to say, well, okay, I understand. That is the rules, and continue on with the game. Maybe it hurt you. Maybe it didn't. You didn't look in your deck, so it's not like they knew whether or not it did or not. You just discarded the wrong card. That happens. I've done it before. Looking at your hand, I want Sycamored away, a field blower that I absolutely needed to help me win the game. I mean, it was the very first round of Dallas, and I was nervous, and I was like, okay, these are the steps I got to take, and I skipped one of them, discarded the field blower, and it totally lost me that game, or helped lose me. I don't know if it totally lost it, but it certainly helped. Anyway, they will not allow takebacks, but then when it comes around to their turn, you can guarantee if they mess up, they are going to ask for a takeback. You can be like, hey, can I take that back? My advice? No, don't let them. I wouldn't let them take anything back if they did that to me. Something else is a player, rule sharks, they will get super mad. So let's say you play a Nest Ball and your bench is full. That's an illegal move. You can't do that. So you're like, oh, I'm going to play this, and then they're like, wait, you can't play that, but nothing has changed. And the judge comes over and says, okay, you didn't do anything. Game state wasn't affected. Maybe he makes you discard the Nest Ball or just put it back in your hand, whatever it is. But you don't get a prize penalty. Another player, a rule shark, will get mad over that. Because that's an illegal play. And the judge, seeing that it was just a simple mistake, maybe there was a parallel city in play, or you had a full bench, whatever it was. There's like, hey, no harm, no foul. You didn't discard, you didn't look at any cards, you didn't look in your deck or anything like that. Nothing happened. Just put it back in your hand, or maybe discard it, whatever. A rule shark will get mad, and they will try and force the judge to make you shuffle in your hand or take a prize penalty or something like that. And that's something else. A rule shark will call a judge over everything. So you flipped the coin, they didn't like the way it landed, looked like it was a little askew, whatever. Judge, we need help over here. Something's going on. And then while they're doing that, if they know it's going to be a 2-prize penalty, I had this happen to me. The penalty was warranted. I did make a mistake. It was my fault. But the guy was trying to get me to concede that game. It was game 2 of a best of 3, and he was trying to get me to concede that game before the judge had ever come back with the ruling. And I told the guy, I was like, man, I realize this is a 2-prize penalty mistake here that I made. I understand that, but I am not giving up this game until a judge says I must. So anyway, they're quick to call judges. They're quick to call them over everything. Anything like a coin flip, or maybe you've got a little bent on your sleeve or something. It's not marked, but you shuffle all day, you get the ruffle shuffle going, and maybe you just got a little bent edge or something like that. It'll be like, oh, this is marked, and get a judge. Over everything, just trying to wait to take up time. Something else they'll do is they will try and use new players' lack of knowledge. So I sit down there, I'm a new player, I've never played before, and they'll look at me and they'll say, you've only got 5 seconds or 10 seconds in between every move. You've got to play real quick. You can't do that. Just different stuff like that. They'll try and use, so they know a rule that maybe nobody else knows, maybe nobody else cares about, like the take-back rule and stuff like that. They will use that to their advantage, trying to get an edge over that new player or over an experienced player that just doesn't know the rule. They use rule sharking. They use the rules to try and cheat their way into victory. I know that sounds weird, and I'm not taking a stance one way or the other on rule sharking, because applying the rules is 100% good. But the way and the attitude that rule sharks have is what just drives me away from them, and what makes me mad. Honestly, it just infuriates me. And then they'll gloat to their friends about how, yeah, he made this mistake, and then the board state was changed, and I knew he was making it, but I didn't tell him until afterward and had the judge called. Say I played 2 supporters accidentally, brand new player, never played before, maybe a couple times, and then I'm nervous, and I play Sycamore, and then go on, and I'll play Guzma, and then he waits until his turn so that he draws a card and destroys the board state before saying anything. That way, it's for sure a game win on his end, because that's an automatic game loss. That's an irreversible board state, and it's just an automatic game loss. A rule shark will also insist on a coin or a die over the other one. They say if you're flipping a coin, well, I really prefer that you roll a dice. Well, you're rolling a dice. Well, I prefer that you're flipping a coin. They just, whichever way they think is going for them that day, they will try and force you into that. Both ways are legal, so you can flip or roll whichever you prefer, as long as it's a legal die. The die has to be clear, I think. So just be sure it's that. But they just try and stick you with everything like that. It's all about using the rules to the nth degree to try and get themselves a win. And I understand, I get it, the rules are the rules, but this is also a children's card game, and we are all here to have fun. Being a rule shark just destroys that atmosphere and makes, personally, it aggravates me greatly. I had that happen to me in Dallas, and it just aggravates me greatly. But anyway, guys, that's what I have to say about rule sharking. Don't be one. It's not fun. It's not fun for you. Well, I guess it may be fun for you if you are a rule shark, but it's not fun for anybody else, and it just ruins the community in general. But that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, and we'll see you next time.